Man, listen. Episode 2 of that social media cap with your host, Boss Lady D, and your co-host, Noriega the King. You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna give it up, give it up. Digging right on in. And we live. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Man, listen. Let's go, because I know you had something to say first.
All right. Well, welcome to Social Media Cat. Copyright Talk. She introduced me. You already know who I am. Let's dive into it.
All right.
So, here's the first question. Do you know what a copyright is?
A copyright is a licensed, sealed document of your work musically. So nobody can take it and make it their own. Basically, to break it down in my definition, is the right to copy.
Okay.
I have a right to own my music.
Right.
Because I own it already. The
Right.
minute
Exactly.
I do the work.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing to that is, with a copyright, you have control over your music. If you're the only one doing it, you're the owner, you're the artist, you're everything to that. Nobody can get any release of your copyrighted music unless you give permission.
Exactly.
So break it down like this. I'm gonna jump into this part. When you get onto the website, it's copyright.gov. You have to put everything in context, like your title, your tracks, everything. Before you can even pay for it, you gotta make sure everything is right. Because they will come at you in your email and say, well, what do you mean by this? What do you mean by that? This is not, what we consider, so you have to be specific on how you word things. Mm-hmm. Definitely you do. Because I did it 2 times. I have the copyrights to all of my music. And you have to be very specific when you're doing these copyrights. Or they're going to constantly text you. Constantly email you. Mm-hmm. Until you get it right. They won't even let it go through until it's exactly how they want it to be. Because it's a legal document. And then you have to wait a certain amount of days and months in order to get the actual paperwork. Mm-hmm. Once you get the actual paperwork, you're good. So if you hear your music anywhere and you didn't get permission, you can contact that radio station, you can contact copyrights.org, and you can tell them this is what's going on, and you can get a stop and desist letter. A stop and desist letter is a documentation that tells whoever's using your music, you do not have the right to use this music, and you have to stop it right then and there. If they don't, and you can take them to court, and you can sue them for copyright infringement. Mm-hmm. Period, point blank.
Yeah.
You have up to 1,000, I believe. Don't quote me, but you have up to $1,000 that they would help you fight the case. Mm-hmm. And either win or you're going to win because it's your music. So you have up to, I think, at least 1,000. But if anybody wants to research it, if you got more information, you're more free to put it in the chat room and we can discuss it. But from what I know, when I did it, that's exactly what they said. And it lasts forever. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, that's the process of the copyright once you get into it. And you can put more than one. You can put another one. I have more than one on mine. So I have like 3. I have one I never even came out with it. And it's still on there. But, come up with different things every day. So I don't know which way I'm going. But basically, the copyright is the best thing to have to protect yourself and your music and your name.
Mm-hmm.
So, there you got it.
Yeah. So, I believe from what you said, we started from a person or persons, individual solo artists, and bands at the high end. Someone that's serious about their music, someone that does touring, someone that does performance in their neighborhood or abroad. They're really into their craft.
Right.
We work with people on that middle level or people that are just starting out and won't admit it. Now, what are your thoughts about that as far as how would you incorporate something that at that level? Because first, don't you gotta see if they're really serious about it and not just, oh, let's leave the problems in everyday life out of it. How bad do you want it? What's your thoughts about that?
Well, if you want it bad enough, you'll work extra hard to get to where you need to be.
Right.
Shouldn't nobody have to be on you like a school teacher? Well, come over here and do this. Do this, do this. It's your career.
Yeah.
So I feel if you're on your game and you say you want to be an artist, say you want to be a producer, say you want to be a poet, be on your game and show people. Because nowadays, people want you to show them instead of talking about it, because we can talk about it all day. But if we're not doing the action, we're not doing anything. So people are just going to say, you're just talking. You're not about that.
Mm-hmm.
You have to show people now. This is the day and age where you have to prove people wrong that I am a poet, I am a radio host, I am a producer, I am a DJ. You have to prove it. And I think, in my personal opinion, that's the best way to go about it. Proving yourself will let people know you are 100% serious about your career. And there's going to be people out there that's willing to work with you. Mm-hmm. So that's my opinion on that.
Also, too, you got to be to the point where that is a lifestyle. I know I had to. I had to get to the point where what's more important? I know what's important is important. I'm going to do that. But how do I incorporate that into my routine of everyday living? Because a lot of times we'll throw songs out there to radio stations. We'll throw a video here and there. But we're not really engaging in who watches us. And then get mad at promoters like myself or DJs saying, oh, I didn't hear my song or I didn't get nothing from you. When it was 6 days ago that I sent you the link. It was 10 days ago that I reached out to you and said, tonight we're live at such and such a time.
Right.
And that's a lifestyle in itself. You got to be on time for work.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I don't think the same mindset flows with that with certain people. I don't think they fully understand what they got their hands on. First of all, their talent. Second of all, who do you got promoting it?
Right. Right.
If your shit is the best, if your music is cracking like that, why ain't nobody heard it?
Right. Right. It has a lot to do with the promoter.
Okay.
The artist can give the promoter everything that he needs, but it's up to the promoter to take that time to help say, I'm going to promote this artist and just work with this artist. If a promoter has 20 people, he's working with different people. So some artists get pushed to the back burner, and some of them get pushed to the front. You know, and that's not fair to an artist that is serious.
Right.
You know, so at the end of the day, promoters have to take accountability for what they do.
Right.
Managers also have to take accountability for managing their artists the correct way. Mm-hmm. But if their artists are not as serious, then the manager has to be like, all right, I got to move over here because you're not ready. I'm going to move to this person because this person gave me 5 tracks in the last week. You didn't only gave me 1 to 2 in the last couple of weeks, months. Barely hear from you. So, you know, it's a struggle. It's a battle. But if you know an artist serious, they're gonna be calling you every day. They're gonna be doing it.
Oh yeah, you definitely can tell a difference. Mm-hmm.
Right. Yep.
But what I had to tell certain promoters, you work with the ones that want to work with you, that like your promoting services or whatever you offer, that helps artists move on to be heard. The reason why I jumped in this is for that very reason. I had a lot of people making music, recording in the studio, track after track after track, but who the hell gonna push this?
Right.
I had no idea. I didn't have a publicist and a manager for that matter. You know what I'm saying? But give your promoters a chance to promote you, because you don't know what other opportunities you can have by doing this. And when it comes in terms to investing, some of these prices is outrageous. I be looking at some of them. They be trying to sell it to me, and I just be looking at them like, am I not charging enough? Look at how the economy is. You barely can get in real estate. You got to be careful with buying certain things at this day and time because of the economy. I mean, you got to look at reality. But I deal with the reality. I'll work with you. But $1,000 up front. Who got that? People barely paying their bills. People are behind.
Right.
I think you got to, as a promoter, you have to come to a certain type of look at the other person's shoes type of theory, where you didn't start off with anything, but you worked hard. You stuck at it. You didn't give up. You didn't look at what you lacked. You looked at what you can get if you're consistent. And you put your all into something. And it seemed like once I did that, it didn't matter what the lack was. It didn't matter because it started working for me. Because I love what I do. This don't come before television. This is before everything. This is like first thing I wake up in the morning, check email, see if somebody want to be heard on the radio. Instead of turning the TV on, watching something stupid. Or something that's not adding value to my life. And I always talk about that on the other podcast. How top priority. What's top priority? Your entertainment or you entertaining as a musician? You should want to entertain as much as you want to be entertained. And you will be. I believe that. What about you?
I believe that too. That's why when I say I stick to what I do as a producer, this is what I do. I make the beats. And then it's up to the artist. If you want this beat, you got to do this to get this beat. So at the end of the day, I stick to what I know.
Mm-hmm.
And I work hard on my craft. And when you work hard, that consistency pays off. That dedication pays off. But if you don't stick on top of it and you go down, then people will look at you. Wait, you was just on. You was here. You was there, and then you fall off, and then it's like, wow, why did you fall off? Because they lost the passion and that consistency for what they were doing. They figured they got one good track, and that's all that they needed. No, you need more. You need more exposure. You need more music. You need more hands on with your music at all. Period. So that's what I feel like. You gotta stay consistent.
Right. Even if it's one song. Everybody didn't hear the song the same time you posted it. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to get people to understand that. People are still listening to my shows from 2019. Like it's brand new.
Right.
Because what I'm also trying to get people to understand, doing your music is like a system. Once you record it, the promoting process should be easy. Mm-hmm. Because it's one click away now. You don't have to go make CDs and covers.
Right.
You can make a flyer online, send that out.
Right.
Your reels is your digital CDs. Mm-hmm. Your set single, all I gotta do is follow you on Instagram, Reels, Threads. It's something attached to Instagram called Threads. So whatever you share on Instagram, it goes to Threads. So Threads is really like the links and stuff like that.
Right.
But you can put your reels on there too.
Okay.
It's called Threads, just like it sounds.
Okay.
And it's a separate app from Instagram. So, yeah. What other thing I was gonna say? Well, I look in the text because I forgot. I forgot it.
Well, yeah.
But
copyrights are the most important thing to have.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're starting off as an artist, a producer, those are the most, and a poet, because you don't want anybody trying to steal your style, the way you write, your wording, and that way it will work out 10 times better if you had copy protected. You don't have to worry about. Go ahead. You don't have to worry about nobody trying to steal your stuff because you're going to have proof that you wrote that. But some people can write good and flip it around.
Mm-hmm.
And if you listen to it, like, I said that yesterday. I said this last week. Why do it sound like... And then you can go and look at your copyright plan. Like, hold on. That was just listening to what I said and rewrote it. Made it seem like they wrote it when they did it. You know, I had a project that I was supposed to come out with somebody. And that project got vetoed because I was like, it's not gonna work. So the project was a project of music and poetry at the same time. But it didn't happen, and I was fine with it. You know.
Okay.
Sometimes things in life happen when you're serious about it, and they're not as serious. Or they're serious, but they have issues with you. So, at the end of the day, some things happen for a reason, and I just deal with it. But
that's a good way. That's a good attitude to have about it. But me, I was highly ticked off. I was pissed. I had about 2 albums worth of songs, like 60-something songs. Of just collabs, because I've been doing collabs since the beginning.
Okay.
And somebody screwed up and all the data was lost in the system. And there was no way to retrieve the music ever again. Wow. So that was some music that I owned that didn't get processed through BMI, ASCAP, or whatever, because I never got a copy of it, not knowing until after that happened, you might want to get a copy of it.
Right.
Either it's on CD or they email it to you MP3. Right. So whenever I go to another studio, and this is a reason why I started my own too, because I'm not gonna give you $50, $80 an hour to not have a copy of it.
Right.
You know, it's one thing to do this for fun, but I'm not doing this for fun. I plan on living off this. But I don't have to work a job. Music is my job. And you playing around with my stuff, and I don't know any better. I didn't know nothing about a copyright, a BMI, or nothing. I said this on every interview I get. I didn't know about jack. All I knew was how to record in the studio, and I was just learning that for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knew I could sing, and they needed a singer, and it really wasn't nobody that could sing in Milwaukee at that time. And they were serious about being in the studio. Oh, they were serious about that. Oh, you gotta be ready to work and all this stuff. Okay, after the fact, where's the work after that? It just sits there to get lost. And I just gave you 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, sometimes $700, $800 for a session, and now you lost all the music?
Right.
But I got smart, right? So I started getting copies of it.
Right.
And then when I want to put it on something, somebody want to narcissistically tell me that I owe them money when you didn't collect up front. How do I owe you anything? You don't have any paperwork proving that it's yours. Whether I sat in front of you and you did it in front of me, or I knew where from start to finish what happened to it. Once my voice is on it, and through the writer's administration, it's really 50% mine. You can have 50% of it, but all of it, and I'm looking stupid, was not the idea.
Right. And you're never supposed to give somebody 100% of your work when y'all collaborate. So it is
right
50-50 split.
It is. And there's penalties for when you want to lie about your percentage. You sometimes will even get banned from the BMI ASCAP opportunity and catch a fine and maybe some time in prison because it's internal theft. See, people don't know their laws and statutes and stuff. And then this is back to the inbox cave where you have people demanding from you what they're not even knowing what to do. They just know they want to be heard on something. They're not even at this point yet. We're talking to the people that are at this point and really didn't know the meaning of this. So some jackass can't walk up to you and say, oh, that's mine. And where's my money, bro? And all this stuff.
Right, exactly.
With no paperwork. Right. No proof. Just mouth. Right. I'm over it.
Right.
No proof, no paperwork, just mouth. Me, with what I do, I got paperwork with everybody I've ever worked with. The ones that didn't get no paperwork, I get the 100%. Because now we don't talk. Now we don't communicate. I don't know. Got no contact with you. You didn't make arrangements to do that for that reason. Music. Right. So that's a lost opportunity. But I'm not losing an opportunity. I had to make sure myself was covered.
Right, exactly.
And once I figured out through starting this podcast, that's why I thank God for it. Because it opened my eyes to really the business side of this. Are we just linking up? Or are we planning on eating and living off of our crafts? That's the people I'm talking to. If you just somebody fly by night and you just here for 15 minutes of fame and it's worse than cocaine, go right ahead. But I'm talking to the people that really want to be an independent artist and get full throttle of what they work for.
Right.
They ain't doing it just to be doing it. They ain't doing it just to get attention. They're not doing it to prove their friends wrong. They're not doing it to prove their family wrong. They doing it because that's their job.
Right.
Not do this and slave at a 9 to 5. Oh, that's just some hobby. That's just a side hustle. No, this is life to me.
Right.
So I don't need to be working with people that it ain't life to them.
Right.
And we're going to get into that. We decided that if you're not into your own music, like you're into the entertainment that you watch, we can't work with you.
Exactly.
Sitting and we say, hey, check your email because we sent you a link because your song was playing, and you tell us, oh, well, you didn't send us nothing. You wasn't looking no way because you would have answered. We can't work with that. We're not going to chase you down. We're not going to hunt you down and talk to you about how many times we supposed to be talking. There's no babysitting here. We're all adults and everybody takes care of themselves.
Right.
And we do what we get asked to do, paid to do, or however we moving with that. Right. But what we not going to do is play with wishy-washy people that just want to ride off our name and not work hard like we do.
Right. And that's why I started my own studio too. When I realized if I'm going to pay somebody to be making all of my beats and then I'm just going to put my voice on it, I'll do it myself. I will just build my own studio from the ground up. And that's exactly what I did. And, you know, sometimes you have to do that because you want to be in control of your music. I'm in control of what I do. I'm in control of everything that I put into my music. Nobody's telling me, well, you shouldn't put that there. That doesn't sound... It's me. So when I'm in control, I'm in control. If I work with somebody, I want them to be as just as serious as I am to what I'm doing for them. If you can't be that serious, then I just can't do it. I'm not going to just keep going back and forth. You know, so at the end of the day, be serious about working with people. Because if we're going to eat off of it, we should all eat off of it together. If we're going to collaborate, we're going to collaborate. But you got to be willing to take that time to collaborate. You You can't just say, well, I'm going to collaborate, and then your dad come up, well, something came up, I can't. Okay, then that's just an empty space of a verse that could have been filled by somebody, but you didn't show up. So now that's just, you got to find somebody else. Then you call back, well, I'm ready to do it again. Well, it's too late. You already filled that spot.
Exactly. And that's kind of what I mean by more chats, more spins. A lot of people don't get that. They be like, oh, okay, thumbs up. But no. Don't think because I know you or I played your music before that I'm going to keep playing your music. Right. The rule is more chats, more spins. The more I see you communicating in the Spreaker chat room, not the Messenger. Messenger is not opening these opportunities for distribution on all digital platforms. Facebook does not help me with that. Right. Spreaker does. Spreaker opened those doors. The social media part is to make sure that you get into the chat room effectively. Exactly. But it's not giving us the opportunities. Spreaker is opening the opportunities for you to be put on those platforms. So every time you chat, say hi, say what up, doe. I'm coming through. I'll listen later. Whatever it is. You be on the next platform. You might be on Apple. You might be on Spotify. You might be on iHeart. So instead of sending you the Spreaker link next Tuesday show, I send you this link to Apple. Because I might be streaming from Apple. I listen to all of them. Right. And that's part of a play. That's also part of a download. Because each digital distribution platform has an opportunity for you to download those shows with you on them. Hey, I'm playing on Apple. Hey, I'm playing on Castbox. Hey, I'm playing on iHeartRadio, Spotify, automatically 24/7 now. Right. Because I control what's getting taken down and what's getting pulled up or whatever, and leave it on there. Because you never know.
And then the other problem that people have is if you give them the link, they don't share their own music, but you want to be heard.
Yes! Please expound on that, please. That's what I mean. How serious are you when you don't share the links I shared out on YouTube today? Right. I shouldn't go back and see one view. I should see more than 5. If I send it to you directly and it's just your song, that's what I love about sharing off of YouTube. It's just your song. It's you. Why aren't you sharing that link? And if you're having problems with it, contact your support team, which is Boss Lady D, and say, hey, I want to share this, but it won't let me share it to my stuff. Okay, this is what you can do. Right. But we can't get to that point if you don't what? Communicate.
Communicate, right.
Yes. Please expound on that.
But once again, you want, like we said in Inbox case, you want your music heard, but you're not doing the lead work. We did the lead work. We helped you, so it's now up to you to promote yourself as well. If you can't promote yourself, and you don't know how to, that's when you come back to whoever's promoting you and say, I don't really know how to promote myself. Can you help me out a little bit? What do I need to do more?
Right.
Versus just putting it to the side and saying, well, it's just a link. No, that link could get you far. That link could get you, you never know where that link could hit.
It brings more content the more you comment and share and download the show. Because people are nosy. I always say this. Who is they talking about so much that this is popping all over the place? You'll look up and oh, dang. Or it's in an ad for somebody to pay for the ad in order to fit it. And it ain't got to be you. You don't have to do all the work. It's how you looking at it.
Right.
But if you never put it out there, what work are you talking about?
Right. You have no work. It's just a blank space.
It's out there, but it's going to be slow.
Right.
Because some of these promos is still at 20 views. They haven't shared it at all. That means only 20 people saw it. Or one person watched it 20 times. Let's talk about that. Since everybody's so high, like crack, on these views and streams. And I think that's what effed us up in the first place. That streaming. Now we got to go through all these extra entities to get our royalties. What's up with that, bro?
That's a lot.
Because you're doing a lot of listening and ain't nobody purchasing. When back in the day, you had to purchase that jam.
Yep, definitely do. And now everything is so much digital. It's like I'm used to going to a store and buying a hard copy of a CD.
Right.
Seeing the work put into the CD.
Right.
And then listening to the CD and seeing how good the mixes sound.
Right.
Now you can just buy the MP3. You can buy one MP3 for 99 cents. It probably went up by now. But when I was doing it, it was 99 cents for one MP3. So if one person bought one MP3, only thing you got was 99 cents. You didn't even get a whole, they didn't even buy the whole album.
Right.
People purchase things one by one.
Right.
And that's crazy. I would just rather go back to the old days. And where's Sam Goody at? Where record is?
Radio Shack. Man.
Radio Shack. You know, those are the days where you had to actually get your butt out there. Get on that bus. Get in your car and go get that CD. Because it's like, my CD is out now. You can get it at such and such.
Mm-hmm. And people will pull up for you.
Right.
It's the same thing. You just don't have to move. You gotta hustle it. It sells. I don't sell. You sell every day. You sell to get your baby mama phone number. Now you got a baby buyer. You sell to get that job. You got the job. You sell to get that car. You got that car. Everything is sales. Trade back and forth. It's a trade. Why not trade your craft? Something you good at. Something you know how to do automatically. It don't take a lot of thought. A lot of planning, but a lot of thought. And the planning don't even take that long. If you consistent and you make it worth your while instead of trying to put everything on one basket and sort it out and compartmentalize it.
Yep.
But just the music world don't hand you opportunities anymore. You really got to work your butt off. Even more now because digital is faster, it's more people, and it's less transportation.
Yep.
But you do got to have a good traveling scene with your eyes. You do got to be paying attention. Because if you don't, you wrapped up in being entertained, like I said earlier, instead of being just as wrapped up as entertaining, we could all be getting paid right now. I know that. I know that. I know somebody in my family I'm very close to that is hooked on the television set to the point where you're missing out on opportunities. You are presented with blessings and you rather watch TV. It just disgusts me. I don't see nothing wrong with it, but I think it's a problem when it overtakes what you're trying to do in your life.
Right, and it overtakes your career. You do one thing, but then you're doing the other, and it's not working out.
And you can't blame the promoter. You can't blame the manager. You can't blame whoever you was working with. You have to pay attention. I said this to a friend earlier. It's not your business what they're saying about you. It doesn't matter. Your vision is your vision, and you got to get it done. They say if you do, they're going to say something. If you don't, they're going to say something. So what?
Right.
It's about that music that one day you're not going to be here. Are we going to hear it? It's a lot of musicians in the gravesite. A lot of authors and inventors and innovators that are in the ground we never saw because they were too afraid to get out here and put that little $6 down for them squares and go and get your music cover made for $5, $2, free sometimes.
Right. And see me, let's talk about music covers.
Okay.
I do my own music covers.
There you go.
My thing is I've never outsourced any of my music, any of my ideas to anybody and say, well, I need you to make this. I did it myself. Now that we have phones that we can drop backgrounds in, download backgrounds, I'll make them all myself. 1, 2, 3, and I'm done. Every cover you see was made by me. Every picture was made by me. Every word was wrote by me. I didn't have to go outside.
And that's why I like about the 25L chat. Everybody's free to share their talent with everybody else. And then those people share with other people. And then those groups, Those music groups, start joining those. If you don't like to be on the timeline and you're not a poster, use the inbox to your advantage and get a part of some music groups and go in their inboxes and bug them with those links. They like that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
they're not going to be irritated.
Right.
Because they might be looking to hear you. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, I'm part of 3 groups. And out of those 3 groups, 2 people sent me some songs. You'll be hearing some of them tonight at 9. Yeah. I just started sharing my radio show. I didn't say hi, I didn't say hello, nothing. I just posted. Posted the show. Oh, snap, for real? You play on the radio? They ain't even know. Had I not posted that link, they would just kept ding, ding, ding. Instead of getting irritated, find out who's inboxing you. That might be the people that want to work with you while you acting stuck up and ain't got time for nobody and stuff. But then when the numbers and the streams don't look right to you, it's everybody else's fault.
Right.
Get in there. Do that.
Yeah.
Get out your feelings. Go network.
Yeah.
This is a network.
Right.
Go do it.
Networking helps. What people don't understand is networking really helps. And for me, from my personal experience, I've done so much networking. I got connections. I know people. People know who I am. I don't have to do as much as I had to do in the beginning of my career. But I'm still doing a lot now. But I'm saying to say this, networking is the best opportunity you can have on any social media platform. We got so many now, take advantage of it. Because if you don't take advantage of them, you're wasting time. Mm-hmm. Take advantage of it. Mm-hmm. Make it worth the effort.
And it do be worth it. It really does.
It is. It definitely is. You know, because your story, your music is your story.
Exactly.
Your lifestyle is your lifestyle that you do to make your music. So when you're writing, when you're producing, that is what it is. So you can move forward. You don't want to be back here. You want to move it forward and be consistent with what you do. Because when people see consistency, they're willing to work with you. Mm-hmm. When they actually can physically meet you and you sit down and have a business conversation about this is where I'm trying to go, this is what I'm trying to do, they're willing to open their doors. Mm-hmm. So I would say to anybody, keep going and them doors are going to open. You're going to hit the right person in the eye with your music. And they're going to be like, I want to work with him. I want to see what else he can do. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, consistency is the key. Communication is the key to this business. It's not typing me something. I want to actually speak to you. Mm-hmm. So there you go.
Yeah, I said that in that Sunday show, Stan Lee's content tips.
Right.
And talk about the Marvel Comics and how he turned that into a story which revelized into cartoon comics. And everybody loved it because it was relatable and it wasn't scripted, and it was coming from a space of difference. It wasn't your ideal of everyday life, but it had some life stuff in it. And that's what made it interesting.
Right.
Instead of having your regular good versus evil, he kind of did both in both of them. Everybody had a side, except it wasn't no exception.
Right. There was no exception to who he be.
And it was different. Every story was different.
Uh-huh. Yep.
So is our music. Every song is different. It's coming from a different space. It is coming from different experiences, age groups, dynamics, culture.
Yep.
People want to hear that. People want to hear something different. If you don't already know, I'm here to announce that a lot of people, and I mean in the millions, want to hear something different.
Yep. Because there's other people out there that can relate to what you're going through or what you already been through.
Yeah.
So they want to hear it from a different perspective.
Just like my daughter, Naya is in her 20s. She's speaking to her generation. Her friends have called me, FaceTime me. Thank you for bringing us Naya. Naya can sing, and I like what she's singing about, though. It don't sound like the mains of Sexy Red and, Doja Cat. She sound like her. She sound like us. And I thought that was so profound coming from her generation that does listen to Doja Cat, does listen to Sexy Red, Cardi B. She said she's none of those things. She came down to our level. Know how proud I was of that? Because that's what the people that's on YouTube, the bloggers, is complaining about. Nobody's speaking about life. Everybody's speaking about being evil. That is part of life. But everybody's not a villain, though.
Right.
But everybody could be.
Right.
It depends on what they're pushed to do or not.
Right.
And that was the Stan Lee tip on that. That was a profound show. If y'all ain't checked out Stan Lee's content tips, please get into it. It's on all digital platforms, YouTube, everywhere. Okay? Even Apple Podcasts for the iOS people. You can go right to Apple Podcasts and type in Boss Lady Radio. There you go.
And you have a choice. When you're making music, what do you want to talk about?
Right.
In reality, people need to understand to talk about things that go on in everyday life. Because who wants to hear this and that all day long when we can hear some positivity? And for me to hear that song by Naya, that one song she made, it touched me. Because as a person, you felt the reality. You felt the pain. You felt it. You could feel it. And when you can feel music, that's the best feeling to have, to wake up to feeling something and want to constantly hear it over and over and over, because it's touching you in some type of way.
Right.
Like gospel music. Some gospel music for me touches me in some type of way. And I'll be like, I got to make a playlist of this. So on Sundays, when I'm getting ready to go to church, this is what I'm going to play.
Right.
Certain words hit me certain different ways. So it's good to hear a positive side of music instead of always a negative side.
Right.
And I remember a time my mom told me, I'm always hearing cussing. I'm never hearing about real life. And I'm like, wow, okay. Well,
because that's all that people play.
Right.
Everybody wants to be a villain, but everybody's not one.
Right. And when my mom hears cuss words, she's like, somebody turn that on. It's too much cussing.
Right.
And I'm like, so it's better to have music out here that people can relate to. That's why I say my music relates to people just by listening to the music, listening to the beats. You can relate to it because it might be something you're going through, and that beat might just take you to a different world.
Right.
And help you with your situation. So when you put those things together, it actually can help somebody. So.
Yeah. And that's what we need to get back to. It's not just so much of the hypeness, because you can only get so hyped until you're tired and got to sit down. But where's the relaxing jazz and stuff? It's in underground. It's in there. We just haven't found it yet. And we're finding as we're going along. So there's another side to that. And it's always good. Because I know some of it will bring back in the day. Some of it is brand new, and it's just like, when you put it together, it sounds really good.
Definitely does.
But I'm amazed that people that won't even listen, take a listen. Like, there's certain instances where you're doing this kind of thing, and I have a hard time with this, and I've talked to a few friends of mine about it. It's the hardest fans to please is people you know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And sometimes people are used to the same thing, and you never can get them to change their outlook on life. Why you constantly want to hear the same thing when you can hear something new? When you hear something that you never heard before, and that can be just as better as what you just keep on listening to 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can listen to something different. That can change your mindset. And that's what I like. I like somebody to change my mindset. I don't want to constantly hear, well, this. I want to hear something different. Because I go through different things every day. So I want to hear something positive. I want to hear something motivational. So.
Yeah. All areas of life. All the stages. Right. I think that's what I really want to build my show around. I believe that's what it sounds like to me. It's all different walks of life. Different stages. Different attitudes. Different ways of looking at things. And it's not judged. It's just played. And see, a lot of people don't know that about me. They're like, I don't have to listen to it. Because I know you're not going to send me no crap. Okay? Right. You're on the radio. So your thing is, I got to send her the best stuff. I don't want to be played and it sound like crap.
Exactly.
And I've heard you, especially the ones that I played before. I don't have to listen to it before I play it. For one, I'm a busy lady. I cannot listen to 1,000 songs a day. But I do got time to put all that in one show and do it in 2 hours. I can do that. And let society decide if this is a song they want in their phone, in their tablet, their laptop, desktop, or AirPod. Doesn't matter. Then you'll know who want to dig with you. You might be the reason they change their style of music. But you know what? I have been listening to the same thing. This don't sound like this. I can understand what they're saying. A lot of people is old school. They want to understand. They don't mind rapping hip hop. They just want to understand.
Right. And I said that the other day too. I said music is not like it used to be where it had content. Where it had, you could actually understand every word that person is saying on that song. And it hit different. Now you're hearing all this.
Like my son was playing something so annoying. And he usually don't wake when he get ready for school. The music usually don't bother me. But it was just like, I'm listening to the hip hop and rap underground. And then I'm listening to this mainstream stuff that they listen to of these dudes that all they do is promote guns and violence. I don't know who the dude is. I don't know what he promotes. Because I can't understand him. It comes on, the music is nice. But all you can understand is, I thought he was listening to some doggone other country stuff. I'm like, well, maybe he like his mama. Maybe he want to listen to the other country or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And doing all that. But I just didn't. I mean, he was going with the beat and everything, but I'm just like, what is dude talking about?
Right. That's what you call mama.
And then they all want to sing it.
Right.
Okay. I'm just not getting it.
Yeah.
But that's the era I come from. The era I come from, you ain't saying something, we ain't playing that. This don't get no play in my ride. I don't know what you...
Right. That's the era I come from.
Shooter G, man. Who is that? No, we ain't playing that. Who is that? Like, your name had to make sense.
Right. And then when your name made sense, the music made sense.
Yeah, because of who you were. Now it's what everybody else is doing. I can't.
Right.
But hey, whatever floats your boat.
I don't even listen to the radio no more. Somebody asked me, did you hear this song? I said, who was the song about? And no, I don't listen to the radio.
It's like totally foreign, right?
Right.
Yeah.
To me, I'm like, what? Who? And then when I finally hear it, I'm like, this is what you was talking about the whole time? I don't even get it. Okay. All right. Scratching my head.
Or it's a song from back in the day, like you heard 1,000 times. Yeah, I heard this song before.
Right.
You know that's my song, though. You be sitting there like, that's everybody's song.
Right.
And it's just like they're into the groove. And you like, this is how I looked when I was listening to that. It's not even the same.
Right.
Because now it's foreign to me. I don't know what's out. Right. If my son ain't playing it in this little Bluetooth speaker, I don't know what that is. Girl, have you heard the new one from who? No, I found out about Doja Cat and see, I can't even think of these people's names. I found the Cardi B from Love and Hip Hop. I didn't know she was. Yeah. I didn't know nothing about it. I knew who Remy Ma was because she was out before Love and Hip Hop, right?
Yeah, she did.
You know, stuff like that. You know, because I was listening to mainstream then. Then Sexy Red, YouTube, getting called out, exposed for something she doing. Mm-hmm. Okay. Can we hear her music?
Right.
Like some of these artists that come out, I hear more scandal. That's why I don't see how people want to get into this business like this, like that. Because you in more drama.
Right. And see,
then you got music.
Drama sells. Drama sells so much. I'm surprised they ain't made it a household name by now.
Yeah, you a household name with your drama. But I never heard your music, is what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah.
And then when I do listen to it, after hearing your opinion about this person, it just messes up the whole experience. Because I'm still not hearing the music. I hear a clip of it. Oh, that's how they get down? They don't even play all the song. Mm-hmm. But that one play, they made some money. I want to get to that point. And I know I can't independent. It's just going to take longer because I got to do it myself. And I got to learn. And I got to figure out what the right thing to do is. From the right resource. Because we looking at the fame and glory. But we not looking what they got to do behind this. And then I'm looking at, okay, to get into this business, you got to be all this drama with you. Where is the music? They be like, pop star such and such. I be like, there's a pop star? What song is it? They used to introduce you with your hot single.
Uh-huh.
This is superstar such and such with the single called Woo Woo Woo.
Right.
And then you be like, oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Or they'll play the song while they're talking about the person. Not no more. It's just, if you ain't a kangaroo turned into a giraffe, we don't want to know.
Yeah.
If you don't have 9 lives and you can turn into an elephant, we don't care. Like, what is...
that part?
Where is the music? We shouldn't be saying that at Underground. That's my point on that.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be looking for you like, where's Waldo? When we sent you the email 6 days ago.
Right.
I'm going to hold you accountable and say what is going on with you that you can't see how far this has gone just by being diligent. What else do you need to see?
Right.
You know what we want to see? Your music.
Exactly. That part.
You know what we want to see? You dedicated to it. Mm-hmm. Like when we was at the interview with Underground 9.0. I failed all the quizzes because I was in Underground World. I'm not in the mainstream at all. No, don't do it at all. Wow. But I was one of them ones. Mm-hmm. But it's so in my head. So that day let me know it was in my head though, because I couldn't think of not one.
All right.
And all the correct answers was being said, and I'm just like, no, it's Noriega. No, it's Brother Rob. No, it's Laurie D. Edwards. No, it's Drazy. No, that's SOS. That's Pimp Daddy. That's Randy Hit JKA Double. That's 414. They like, who is that? Stop it. Stop. you. Shit. We should be back and forth with that, bro.
Yeah, that part. And it's just crazy.
Yeah.
You know, we go through this time and period where music has never been what it used to be. And now we're switching.
Has it ever been? Has it ever been, or is it our interpretation of it? Because I don't think it's ever been. I think we just built in a big dream around it. And this is how we wanted to see it. But I don't think, from the industry's point of view, I don't think so. It's drama.
I think music has changed over the years and over the time. You know, because you have younger artists now, 16, 13, 10, coming out with music, and you're listening like you're 10 years old cussing.
Right.
Okay. All right. My mom would have had that belt out by now. So music it's the age gap and the generation that has changed. It's
more exposure. Mm-hmm. We wasn't exposed to all that dirty stuff until we got an adult. Right. We had to sneak into it. We did it. We just had to sneak into it.
Right.
And it wasn't because of respect. It was out of fear of the belt. Let's just keep that real.
Yep. Right.
So we snuck and listened to Tupac. I remember sneaking listening to Biggie. Man Met the Man. Now I'm all.
And see, I didn't have to go all through that. My uncle would pull up in his Cadillac. Hey, nephew. I'm like, oh, who's that? That's such and such. Oh, okay. And I'm jamming too.
Yeah.
You know?
But it better be radio edit.
Right. Oh, no, my uncle had the original. But yeah. But no, you know, my mom played more jazz in the house, more of that old school music. So when I grew up listening to Al Green, Teddy Pendergrass, all the old legends, it was like, okay, this is music. This is where you actually hear the words. Baby, I love you. See you tomorrow. You understood it. Mm-hmm. Now you go fast forward to this generation. You're listening like, what did they just say? Okay, scratching your head.
Right.
And that's what I do now. I'm like, what you say? Wait, what? Where you are at? You know. So you go through that. It's the times. Times have changed. Everything has changed. So
yeah,
you know, that's what music is nowadays. I don't even listen to the radio. So when I'm hearing certain songs, I ain't even listening to the artist. I'm listening to the beat. That's all I'm listening to. Mm-hmm. Oh, that song was cool. I'm going on to the next
one. Right.
So, you know, it's a generation gap.
It is. Gap. It is.
So,
but it's our time though to have our gap grown, and we ain't got to worry about hiding and sneaking. We can do this for real.
Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
It was like they say, you grown now, right or wrong, I raised you.
You ain't coming back to my house. You can do whatever you want to do now. All right.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, we gonna wrap this up, y'all. Any final thoughts, Nori?
Well, I'm just gonna say, copyrights are very important.
Yep.
Look them up before you even decide to release music. One other thing too is another tip. When you record it, it's already yours. Mm-hmm. Once you put it in that software and hit that record button, it's already a copyright. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to forget that. Yeah. But if you want a real copyright, you go to copyright.gov.
That's right.
And get that paperwork. Make that paperwork be solid. So you won't get in any trouble. And if somebody say you stole their stuff, you have proof that you did it.
Right.
So
you got permission to use it. Mm-hmm.
Right. Thank y'all for tuning in to Social Media Cat, Copyright Talk, and among other things we talked about. So this is what you get when you come into Social Media Cat. We talk about everything. Take on one and go into other ones. But I love how it works. So stay tuned. We'll be back soon.
Yep. And also, too, if you need more information on copyrights, their resources are on my show called Guide for Musicians, which was a Monday episode. You want to tune into that and get that information and those resources from Reverb Nation. Please feel free to do so. It is for everybody to click on that link in the article as you're reading it and get started. So, yeah, we'll see you next time on Social Media Cat.
We are now transferring you to a customer care rep. Please hold the line and we will answer your call as soon as possible. Thank you for choosing. By the way, to ensure you're getting great service, your call may be recorded or monitored.